I'm Rob Licuria, Senior Editor at Gold JB, here with the one and only Diane Warren, who wrote the Oscar shortlisted song Somehow You Do from the indie drama For Good Days. Firstly, Diane, congrats on making a coveted Oscar shortlist and as well as being nominated at the Society of Composers and Lyricists Awards and the Hollywood Music and Media Awards. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You know, you have written so many memorable songs for so many films in all kinds of genres. So I've always wanted to know, what's the process for a songwriter on a film like this? You get the script, you dive into the themes and story arcs, and then what?
Well, it's always different with this particular movie, Four Good Days. I got a rough cut of the movie, and it was maybe a month into the pandemic. And I remember driving to my office, to my writing room, and like literally like not one car on the road 'cause we were in lockdown, but nobody was at my office, so I thought I'm still going to go to work every day. And I sat at the keyboard, and with this movie, I wanted to write a song of hope. Spoiler alert with this movie, it's about a mother and her played by Glenn Close and her daughter who's a drug addict played by Mila Kunis, and so many of these situations end up badly. But this one, and it's based on a true story. It did end up well, and she survived it. And I wanted to write a song, that reflected that when you're going through the hardest times, when life has punched a hole in your soul, and you just feel like, like there's a line in the chorus, when you think it's the end of the road, it's just because you don't know where the road's leading to. And I really love that line because it's like you don't know, right? And there is hope because some way, somehow you do. And also, back to when I was driving to the office and there was no one on the road. It was a month into the pandemic, and you're hearing, everything. It was so hard what everybody was going through, and I wanted, and all of a sudden that song took that on, and I think it added another dimension. The song was written for the movie first and foremost, but I was feeling it's like, wow, this is kind of what's going on in the world right now, and when we need hope, more than ever, when everything seems so dark, that here's a song that offers a little bit of light.
Yeah. You know, as you mentioned, the film, we're confronted with the story of an addict who turns to her estranged mother
Yeah,
after she hits rock bottom, right? And that's okay. That's a really heavy story
yeah,
to tell. But this song suggests you can come back from despair, from being
yeah,
at the end of your tether, right?
yeah, yeah.
But I tell you what, Diane, like honestly, for example, I've had a really tough last few weeks, and when I was
Oh, I'm sorry.
researching and listening to the song, that lyric, "The darkest night will find the day," that really got me. It's a
Oh,
beautiful line, and dare I say it, totally relevant to what we are all feeling right now.
I
What do
think
they mean? What does that line mean to you personally?
that is probably my favorite line in the song. The darkest night, still finds the day, and the darkest night will find the day in the second verse, B section, because it will, because you don't like it could be the darkest night in the world, ever, and the sun is going to come up. Like there will be another day, and I hope that you're feeling better first of all, and if the song made you feel a little better, then that's what this is all about to me.
I wondered, what's the feedback like with from? Do you get many people telling you, I've been through addiction,
Oh,
or my
oh
daughter?
my
What,
God.
what are you hearing from people?
So many people, and what I love to do is I like to go to the video, and look at the comments. So if you go to Reba McEntire's video of Somehow You Do,
Yeah.
by the way, she sang it so beautifully,
Oh,
and
yeah.
the comments are mind blowing. It's not just addiction; it's about everything. It's about depression. There's a lot of comments that we're at the end of the rope, and the song made them, gave them hope, and made them stronger. And there's like thousands and thousands. And I one night just stayed up almost all night reading them. I was like crying, like the fact that I wrote this song for this movie, sitting in my room, and it's, somehow it did. It got through, to people, and it got through to you, and it got through to people going through a hard time, and it's crazy. And then Glenn Close she has a foundation, for mental illness for kids, And it's weirdly enough, she asked me to, they wanted to honor me this year. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so weird with the song. The song really is that. And when I got on the phone with her, I go, look at some of the comments. It's a lot about, depression and mental illness. And the fact that this song can take on anything. Yes, in the movie, first and foremost, that's where it has to live. And it does live in that movie. And it does tie it emotionally, but outside of that movie, it's pretty humbling to see the effect it has.
Yeah, absolutely. And Four Good Days is not like a huge blockbuster that has been seen by billions of people, but the people who have seen it or who will seek it out once they've seen that you've written a song for it, I think you're bringing attention to a lot of issues that many people have been facing over the last year or so, but also just generally in terms of mental health. So that's remarkable. So congrats on that at least.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, the song is performed by country superstar Reba McEntire. It's not the first time you've written for her. And in fact, you've written for quite a few country legends in the past where they belt out your beautiful lyrics. What does Reba bring to the table, though, that you most value about her?
So I'll tell you, okay, so in general, and then I'll be specific, in general, when I write a song for a movie and I'm deciding who is going to sing that song, to me it's casting a role. Whoever's singing that song has to organically feel like they belong in the movie, okay? So when I was thinking of Reba, because I thought she'd be perfect because she's so, first of all, I thought she's somebody that Glenn Close's character can listen to. They could be, in their car listening to Reba McEntire, right? It fit it organically. I also thought that Reba, through her life, has had a very hard life. She's gone through a lot, a lot of personal tragedy. Her band was about 15 years ago, all perished in a plane crash, and so she and I know she's gone through a lot of stuff, and I thought she's gonna bring her the pain and resilience because above all, Reba McEntire is a survivor. She's a badass survivor, and the song needed to be cast. That needed to be the actress, singer. You know what I'm saying? Like she had to fit that, and so on every level, it checked off every box. Great vocalist, the artist that they'd be listening to, and that Glenn Close would be listening to in the movie, and someone who invests some of what her personal story could be in there, and that's when you can really believe somebody.
Yeah.
You believe every word of her singing that song.
You do. You forget she's an actor as well as a performer, and in that video. She's extraordinary.
Yeah.
My final question's a bit of a pivot from what we're talking about.
And then William Shatner did a version of it, did a spoken word version.
Did he? I haven't seen that. Oh, got to see that. I mean, who doesn't love a bit of William Shatner?
No, and seek it out if you can. It's great.
I will. I will. I've got to ask you the perennial question. I'm sorry, but I must do it. 12 Oscar nominations. That's remarkable achievement.
I'm the most nominated woman in the entire 93-year history of the Academy Awards in any category to have been nominated this many times and not one.
And not one. And so
you have an Oscar for that? Come on.
Like seriously, what are we waiting for, people? And this could be lucky number 13, and I think it could be lucky number 7 in the last 8 years or 7 years. So you've had this consecutive run as well. I mean, putting aside we always asked, how come you haven't won? That's great, but the nominations themselves, I mean, that's extraordinary.
Okay, so this is what I say, and I mean this from my heart because it's the truth. Being nominated itself is a win, the biggest is that a word? The biggest, hugest win, because there are only 5 songs. There's not the Grammys where they have a million song categories, right? There's hundreds of songs in movies every year. There's hundreds of movies. And if you look at the people that are voting, they're the greatest songwriters, composers of all time. Like if you look at the people and that are in there, they're the best of the best. Whether you even recognize their names or not, they're still the best of the best. But the fact that they would, hear my song and nominate me and think I'm worthy of that, that's that's a huge fucking win, you know. So I'm not gonna like, I win every time I'm nominated. You know, would it be great to actually really win? Yeah, it'd be great. And if not, I'm cool. I love being, you know, I love being in the, you know, in the game. You know, I love
Yeah.
being asked to the party. I wasn't a popular kid ever, so.
We sure as hell are now. Diane, thank you for your time today. We're going to bring you back shortly for our group chat.
All right, thank you. Good to talk to you.